Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here, your source for gaming, tech, emulation, and open source news. Let's get started. Alright, we'll kick things off talking about ScummVM, which stands for Subscribe to Mr. Sujano, or Script Creation Utility for Maniac Mansion Virtual Machine, depending on how you want to interpret that. And ScummVM just got a brand new update. So the ScummVM team has just announced full support for Orion Burger, the classic game by Sanctuary Woods. And they say the engine also adds a few niceties that the original didn't have, such as mouse wheel handling and using the spacebar to skip walk animations. At this point in time, they are testing the game and they are asking for help. They say the game's logic was all hard-coded, so they really need people to try all sorts of weird actions. Orion Burger was released back in 1996, and it's a very interesting game. If you've played it before, let me know in the comments below. Moving on, and we're talking about Ubuntu, and it appears that Ubuntu snaps are not playing nicely at all with Steam. So apparently Valve is seeing an increasing number of bug reports for issues caused by Canonical's repackaging of the Steam client through Snap. And they say the best way to install Steam on Debian and derivative operating systems like Ubuntu is to follow the instructions over on GitHub and use the official .deb. Or even just use the Flatpak version. And interestingly enough, they flat out say we are not involved with the Snap repackaging. It has a lot of issues. Unsurprisingly, in the Linux community in general, the Snap Store has received criticism over the years. Linux Mint, for example, is a distribution based on Ubuntu, and by default, the Snap Store is completely disabled. If you wanted to learn more about Linux Mint's position on the Snap Store, I'll drop a link to this blog post in the description below. I am not a fan of the Snap Store. I don't use snaps. I know FlatHub and Flatpaks aren't perfect, but I'm a fan of them. Next up, we're talking about a couple of brand new ROM hacks on the NES. The first one here is Totoro Mei is missing. And this one was just released. It's based on Super Mario Brothers. So Totoro Mei is Missing has 14 new levels, has new graphics and new music. The second ROM hack is also based on Super Mario Brothers. It's called SMB CV, which is Super Mario Brothers Castlevania, and version 3.0 just dropped. It adds new gothic background graphics, a stage select on the main menu, many new alternate secret paths, and even more. If you want to learn more about these ROM hacks, I'll drop a link to both romhacking.net pages in the description below, and if you've played them, let me know your thoughts about them in the comments below. Moving on, and we're quickly talking about Plants vs. Zombies 3 on mobile, and yes, this game has launched on both Android and iOS. It appears there may not have been a lot of marketing for this game, considering it was launched on January 12th, and as of today, it's only got 500 plus downloads, not a whole lot. Next up, we're quickly talking about Rock Band 4, and Rock Band 4 has had a pretty darn good run. 8 years of weekly DLC. Well, today Harmonix announced that they're finally ending support for this one. So if you play Rock Band 4, you can go on ahead and mark January 25th on your calendars, the last day for this game getting DLC. And as of that date, this game will have almost 3,000 songs as DLC, which is pretty impressive. And speaking about impressive, next up we're talking about Ace Combat 7, and today Bandai Namco announced that this game is heading to the Nintendo Switch. And it will include some DLC and some additional aircrafts. So the Switch version of this game is called Ace Combat 7 Skies Unknown Deluxe Edition. Now, the Deluxe Edition does not include all of the DLC, which is super unfortunate. It includes about 6 parts overall, with 4 parts set to be released later. And this game itself is set to be released on July 11th. And on a quick side note here, Ace Combat 7 is Steam Deck verified, and it's currently on sale for 84% off. I'm curious when this launches, if it's going to run with Yuzu or Ryujinx on day one. And speaking about Steam, last up here we're talking about APB Reloaded, and if you play this game on PlayStation or Xbox, it seems this game is being sunset. I'll drop a link to their full statement in the description below. They say the decision to discontinue APB Reloaded on consoles was driven by a combination of technical challenges, resource constraints, and the evolving landscape of gaming. We want to ensure that our players have the best possible gaming experience. And unfortunately, sustaining the game on console platforms has proven increasingly challenging. For Xbox, it appears the game is already finished. They say, unfortunately, you will have noticed that APB Xbox is currently experiencing technical issues, and the game is currently offline. Unfortunately, we are now unable to bring the game back online. And for PS4 players, we will begin the sunset phase starting February 1st through August 2nd. As a silver lining here for console players, it appears you'll be able to port your character over to the PC version, but unfortunately, the PC version has been met with mixed reviews on Steam. And for what it's worth, this game was released back in 2011, and kind of surprised to see that it's still alive. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. We talked about a few things today. Let me know your thoughts about absolutely any of it in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate, save your state.